Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another Coffee Chat and Candidly. I am your host, Ambar, aka the Vietnamese Prince. Happy weekend. I've been making these Coffee Chat and Candidlys on the weekend consistently, which is nice. I do like to kind of settle in to a mood whenever I do these shows because I definitely want to be as relaxed as I can. For any of you that are listening, I want this to be, nothing too crazy of a show for you to think, to sum it all up, I really want this show to be candid, you know what I'm saying, like natural. Anyway, work has been kind of crazy for me lately. Actually, it's been kind of like I wake up and I'm thinking, man, I want to quit. That's how crazy it is. And when times get tough like that, it's definitely a test of mental willpower and all that jazz. But anyway, that's a little bit about myself, whatever that is going on in my life. I kind of wanted to dedicate this episode to talk about something that I came across and pondered upon last month, and the theme revolved around leadership and innovation, and those two ideas in particular, but in persona form. And so the leader versus not versus, but like leader, and then there's the innovator. But I wrote something, and I do want to share it. Basically, kind of like a it's a little poetic, so I'll just read it and then hope you guys enjoy. So it's titled "The Leader and the Innovator," and it starts: "A leader is the first one in and the last one out. They are charismatic, reciprocal, and supportive. A leader has the ability to create influence through their unwavering actions, and people rely on them for direction. The innovator is an idea machine. The ideas they create can be way ahead of our time, if and when properly presented and executed. Or it can be just another silly idea that no one will get behind. The innovator's purpose is to create for the betterment of humanity. They want to serve others in a way that is beyond themselves. Question is, how does a leader benefit an innovator? Well, here's an analogy. The innovator is the bread, and the leader is the butter. Bread alone is great, but butter makes it better. In my own personal experience, I tend to be the innovator, and this is me talking about myself. I come up with these radical ideas, and sometimes comes as a surprise, even to myself. Even though I create a thorough plan for these ideas, the human in me sees it as a failed idea. Which is why the people I seek for advice and guidance tend to lead me into a space where I can confidently express my ideas and goals. This is why being a strong leader at all times can be beneficial to your team of innovators. To my leaders, seek and care for those who have fear and doubt in their minds about their natural-born talents, and lead them to a place where they can create in a boundless space. To my innovators, be encouraged with your ideas and work through the challenges. Have faith in what you believe in, because through your persistence and accomplishments, you will inspire everyone around you to do what is beyond themselves." Wow. Yeah, some deep stuff. So to kind of break it down, so the first part I wrote about a leader, their characteristics, what a leader tends to give off. And then the innovator also, same concept. And these two, in some ways, they contrast each other, but when brought together, a group of leaders, a group of innovators doing their job with each other, I think that's like a beautiful thing. It's like symbiosis, one can't live without the other, and they choose to work with each other. And then this part here, how does a leader benefit an innovator? That analogy I made, I came up with that analogy all on my own. I thought about it like I've had toast and I've had a side with it. Toast by itself, it's good. Like if it's good bread, you could eat it by itself. But when you have it with jam or hummus, or in this case butter, it's game over. The innovator is the bread and the leader is the butter. Bread alone is great, but butter makes it better. And I talk about how I tend to be an innovator. I do see myself as a leader, too, but I do resonate more with an innovator personality. Like I like to come up with things, and I feel so supported when there's someone that is giving me feedback on what I'm doing, and I guess giving me a push to keep going with these ideas. And then the leader aspect too, I do feel like I want to find balance in both, because I know there's people out there that definitely need help to reach their fullest potentials. And then I write basically like a little monologue to the leaders and to the innovators, and I think this really hit me hard because I relate so much with what's being said at the end, even though I wrote it. Hearing something like feedback or reassurance, it's always so great, especially like when you're doing something in the long run. Like say like your biggest dream, your passion, you're doing it and you've been doing it for a while. Sometimes it's nice to hear that you're doing a good job, and there's people that need you, and you're worthwhile in this world. It's a great feeling, and I know what it feels like when someone compliments me in what I do, like when I'm at the cafe and they see that I'm like so passionate and so like this is something worthwhile doing. They're like inspired by it, and they give that genuine, organic compliment of you're doing such a great job. That keep being you, and there's nothing like that. Receiving that type of energy, getting all hippie. But anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope that kind of resonated with any of you out there. Maybe going through a hard time or trying to figure out life, and at the end of the day, you're a leader and an innovator. In many ways, like you lead your own life. You choose who you want to surround yourself with, and you choose the path. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's you who chooses what you want to do. And in the innovation, I guess, point of view too, like you have the ability to come up with creative ways on how you can get to where you want to be or do what you want to do. This life, there's just so many different paths we can take, and it's nice to hear from other people's experiences and to develop a rough idea of what life can be from other people's perspective, but there's nothing like your own experience. And so I encourage everybody out there to live out your life and your dreams. Like don't stop and think too much. Bruce Lee once said, "Don't think, feel." And there's something about the feeling aspect. It can be very demonized in our society, because when we feel too much, we get too much in our emotions, and it's not something we want to. I think refined understanding of how our emotions are is definitely something that it's mindfulness. Basically, it's basically mindfulness, and if we're mindful of our actions and how we are as humans, there's better chance that we forgive ourselves for our mistakes, and there's better chance that we'll come up with more innovative ideas to get through our hardships and life. In my perspective, I see life as art. Like I consider myself an artist of life, and I choose to think outside of patterns at times. I mean, sometimes I get into my head too much, and I have the same patterns of negative thinking that I go through. But when you realize that life isn't really all about patterns, like you literally have a paint brush, right, and an empty canvas right in front of you. You either let people draw on your canvas, or you take up some space in that canvas and draw something out for yourself. The whole world is a big empty canvas, and everyone's painting their part. And let's not forget that each and every single one of us, everyone, we have value, and we have the right to paint our own strokes. So I really wanted to talk and share about, thank you guys to whoever's watching the Coffee Chat and Candidly. Just kind of give you, just a little bit of part of me, my life. I've always liked podcasts. I think it was when I was 18, I started listening to a lot of podcasts. And I really wanted to be a podcaster and to kind of talk my thoughts. I did a podcast with friends before in San Diego, but I left, and it was my choice. And to this day, like I've never found such a great group of people to work with when I was chasing my passions and what I wanted to do. And I meet so many great people along the way, but unfortunately, and this has happened a lot in my life, where I don't resonate well with relationships, and I get too much in my head, where my relationship with myself affects with my relationships outside of myself. And yeah, it's a reoccurring pattern, like I was talking about earlier, patterns, and I'm letting it affect me continuously. I get anxious about meeting people, and that's the thing. I'm watching this Korean drama, and I know some of y'all are watching it, because I know like a good amount of people that are watching my videos I think are Asian. It's okay not to be okay. It's such a great drama. But there's the one character who realizes that life, when you get stuck in your past, it's hard to get out when you just keep living in your past, and eventually you won't find a door to escape trauma. And that's why I'm trying my best to look at life a different way, not in the way that my head likes to distinguish it. So yeah, sometimes you have to let go, and forgiveness is the first step to moving on. And forgiving yourself, it's really hard, but once you get stronger, and once you get better at forgiveness, it gets easier. It gets less harder. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. This is something that I'm asking as a favor to anybody that's interested in my content. It would really help. It would really help boost the algorithm, and so my videos can be shown more out there. But I'm learning as I'm going, so I definitely feel like it's good that I'm slowly putting out content, and whatever feedback I can get, I definitely welcome it. Like I do read comments. I mean, I don't really have that many comments, but I really want to interact with anybody that's out there. So yeah, once again, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more future content. My channel basically revolves around 3 main things, and that's coffee, music, and life. And I have in my banner plus Big Bang. So I can go down a rabbit hole about Big Bang, but Big Bang is basically my inspiration to doing things out of the norm. Like, they're the first Asian group that I found almost an identity with, because I really like fashion, I really like music, and I really like pop culture, but in like not American pop culture, like outside of American pop culture. And Korean pop culture was something that was very interesting, and I'm seeing it very prevalent in Vietnam right now, like similar pop style. So very interesting. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.